Hey there, my friend. I want to start by saying this: if you've landed on this video, it's not random. You're here for a reason. You were meant to hear this. Just like everything else in the universe, this moment has purpose. You see, every chosen one, every person with a calling, goes through a specific season before their breakthrough. It's a period that often feels like everything is falling apart. A season of brokenness. Now, I know it's hard. You might feel like you're at your lowest right now. But here's something powerful to hold on to: the darkest part of the night always comes right before the sun rises. Your breakthrough, your transformation, might be just around the corner. But sometimes, it's hidden. Buried beneath fear, doubt, confusion. So stay with me. Because what you're about to hear might be the very message your soul has been waiting for. What is the season of brokenness? Let's break this down. The season of brokenness isn't just about struggling. It's not just pain or hardship. It's much deeper. It's a sacred process, a time when God is doing something powerful within you. Think about gold for a second. In order for gold to shine in its purest form, it has to go through fire. Extreme heat. It has to be refined so all the impurities can rise to the surface and be removed. In the same way, God allows us to go through intense seasons not to punish us, but to purify us. To burn away everything that no longer serves us. To shape us into the version of ourselves we were always meant to become. When you carry God's love in your heart, even in the midst of pain, your kindness becomes a gift to the world, because during these hard times, your heart softens. Your ego loosens its grip. The patterns and beliefs you used to live by start to fall away, and even though it's uncomfortable, this is where transformation begins. You might be resisting change. That's normal. But what if God is asking you to let go, to release what no longer fits the vision He has for your life? This season isn't just about surviving. It's about surrendering. It's about trusting that this discomfort is divine. That you are being refined, not ruined. Prepared, not punished. God isn't trying to take something from you. He's trying to reveal the treasure that's always been inside of you, the voice of doubt, lies of the enemy. One of the hardest parts of walking through brokenness is the voice in your head, that whisper of doubt, the one that says, "You're not good enough. God's forgotten you. This pain means you're on the wrong path." But hear this clearly: those are lies, they're old tricks. The enemy uses these lies to isolate you, to make you feel small, abandoned, unworthy. But trials are not a sign that God has walked away. They're often the clearest evidence that He's working, shaping you, preparing you, calling you closer. John 16 verse 33 reminds us, "In this world, you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world." God never promised a life without struggle. But He did promise that He's greater than anything we face. It's like a gardener pruning a plant. When a gardener cuts away the dead or overgrown parts, it's not to harm the plant, it's to help it flourish. In the same way, God uses our challenges to cut away what's blocking our growth. Romans 8 verse 28 says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." That means nothing is wasted. No tear. No disappointment. No loss. Everything you're going through is part of the shaping, the refining. The lies of the enemy don't stand a chance when you stand in the truth. You are chosen. You are loved. And you are still being shaped by the hands of the one who knows you best. Embracing the pruning. Let's talk more about pruning, because this part is tough. Pruning isn't fun. It hurts. Sometimes, it feels like God is taking things away from you, maybe even people, places, dreams. But in truth, He's making space for something greater. In John 15 verse 2, Jesus says, "Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, He takes away. And every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes, that it may bear more fruit." God, like a master gardener, knows exactly what to cut and what to keep. He sees the parts of your life that are holding you back. The ones you might not even recognize yet. And with care and intention, He removes what no longer belongs, so that you can thrive. It might be a habit, a mindset, a relationship, whatever it is, if it's not aligned with your purpose. It's got to go. Not because God is angry, but because He's preparing you, He's making room for new growth. Room for blessings you haven't even imagined yet, so when life starts cutting into areas you thought were secure, pause and ask, what is God preparing me for? You might be losing something today that would have blocked tomorrow's blessing, learning to suffer well. Now, let's get real. We live in a culture that tells us to avoid pain at all costs. Numb it. Escape it. Pretend it's not there, but what if there's power in learning how to suffer well? To suffer well means to endure with faith. It means that even when your heart is breaking, even when nothing makes sense, you still trust that God is with you. You still praise Him. You still believe He's good, not because everything's fine, but because He is. Jesus gave us the most powerful example of this. He didn't ask to avoid the cross, He asked for God's name to be glorified through it, and through His endurance, He gave us a picture of what it looks like to hold on when everything inside you wants to let go. You don't have to pretend. But you do have to persist. When you lift up your voice from the pit, from the pain, that's the kind of worship that shakes heaven. That's a declaration of trust that says, God, I believe you, even now. That kind of faith is fire-tested. It's real. And it's what transforms your suffering into a testimony. Strength in the valley. When you're walking through your hardest seasons, it's easy to feel like you're lost in a valley with no way out. Everything feels heavy. Your vision gets cloudy. Your heart gets tired, but here's something powerful to remember. The valley isn't a place of defeat, it's a place of growth. It's in these low moments, in the middle of the pain, where we often discover who we really are, and more importantly, who God is. Don't rush through your valley. Don't try to escape it too quickly. Because sometimes, that valley is the very place where your strength is being built. Just like a seed has to break open underground before it can push through the soil and reach the light, we often have to be broken open before we can rise. Your pain isn't pointless. It's a process. A sacred one, and often, it's in the valleys of life where we find the deepest roots of purpose being planted in our souls. When everything is stripped away, when all you can do is cry out to God, that's when something beautiful happens. You begin to realize that you're not standing alone. God is with you in the valley. Guiding you. Strengthening you. Walking every step beside you, even when it doesn't feel like it. He's not waiting at the finish line. He's in the dirt with you. Joseph, from the pit to the palace. The story of Joseph is one of the most powerful examples of how God uses brokenness to prepare us for purpose. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. If anyone had a reason to give up on God's promises, it was him. But through every injustice, every moment of isolation and pain, God was weaving something divine. Joseph didn't see it at the time. He couldn't have known how all those painful chapters would come together. But God knew. And when the time was right, everything changed. In one moment, Joseph was pulled from prison and placed second in command over all of Egypt. One moment shifted everything. Genesis 41 verses 41 to 42 says, So Pharaoh said to Joseph, I hereby put you in charge of the whole land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh took his signet ring from his finger and put it on Joseph's finger. From prisoner to prime minister, it's wild when you think about it. Everything Joseph went through was necessary. It prepared him for the influence, the wisdom, and the heart he would need to lead a nation and save his family. And just like Joseph, your story isn't over yet. Whatever pit you find yourself in, know this, it's not permanent. God is still writing. And He never wastes a single detail. That pain you're carrying, He's going to use it. That disappointment, He'll turn it into direction. That betrayal, He'll turn it into breakthrough. Your current struggle is preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. Trust the process. Your palace moment will come. The promise of fruitfulness. Every season of brokenness leads to a season of fruitfulness. The trials, the loss, the stretching, they're not forever. They're setting you up for something beautiful. But here's the key, you can't skip the process. You can't reach the mountaintop without walking through the valley. And you can't bear fruit without first being pruned, tested, and refined. God has a way of turning your lowest moments into launch pads for your destiny. the very pain that tried to destroy you is often the soil where your purpose will grow. Maybe right now, it feels like everything is being taken away. But what if what's actually happening is God making space for better relationships, space for renewed strength, space for deeper purpose? Sometimes, God delays certain blessings not because you're unworthy, but because you're not ready yet. He's preparing both the blessing and the person who's going to receive it. That's you. You're being prepared for something bigger than what you've seen so far. And once that season of fruitfulness arrives, you'll understand why you had to wait. You'll see that the pain was actually a setup. You'll realize that what felt like rejection was redirection, and that every tear watered the roots of your breakthrough, living out the lessons of brokenness. So how do you live through this season in a way that leads to growth, not just survival? It starts with surrender. Let go of the need to control everything. Lay down your timelines. Trust that God sees the full picture, even when you don't. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving it over. You're saying, God, I don't understand this, but I trust you with it. That kind of surrender opens the door for transformation. It allows God to take the pieces of your brokenness and shape them into something stronger. Next, worship through the pain. I know, it's hard to lift your hands when your heart feels heavy. But there's something powerful about praising God in the middle of the storm. That kind of worship, when you're in the fire, when you're crying, when you're confused, that's real. That's what shifts atmospheres. That's what invites heaven into your situation. Even if all you can say is, God, I trust you, say it. Speak it out loud. Let your soul hear it. Worship doesn't change God, it changes you. It reminds you who you are and who He is. It realigns your heart with truth, not fear. And finally, be patient with the process that we live in a world that wants everything fast. But God works in seasons. And spiritual growth doesn't happen overnight. Some breakthroughs take time. Some healing takes time. Some pruning takes time, and that's okay. Don't compare your journey to someone else's. Don't rush through what God is doing in you. Let the process shape you. Let it deepen your faith. Let it build your character. Let it grow your wisdom. Because when God removes something, it's never without reason, and when He gives something, it's always right on time. You're being made whole. Here's the truth. God isn't just trying to make your life easier. He's trying to make you whole. He's not just preparing blessings for you. He's preparing you for the blessings. The season of brokenness is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with purpose, strength, and a deeper connection with God. You're not falling apart. You're being rebuilt. Piece by piece. With love, with wisdom, with divine intention. So hold on, even when it hurts, even when nothing makes sense, even when you're tired of waiting. Your breakthrough is coming, and when it does, it will make sense. You'll look back on this season, not with regret, but with gratitude, because it was in the fire that you found your strength. It was in the valley that you met God in a new way, and it was in your brokenness that you became whole.